Hello and welcome back everyone to the continuation, the long-awaited continuation. I've been asked about this a lot, to continue a tutorial video for Caesar 3 and building a city. A while back I did a beginner's video, very just kind of plain, basic, like get started in the game, so you have like your first block, you have a basic economy, and that kind of thing. And now I just want to expand on that. So today, we're going to be in the Augustus mod, as we always are. We're going to be on Tarentum, which is actually the map I did my first guide video on. The reason I chose this map is because it's an earlier map. It's pretty simple. It doesn't like have any like weird side quests or missions that are going to trip you up. And it's a good map to just show things on. There's nothing crazy to do. So today we're going to do an intermediate guide. And by intermediate, I just mean getting your city to a kind of its second phase, I guess you could say, where you're expanding your economy, you're expanding your block, so you're getting another city block, you're defending against an invasion, and you're starting your construction project. So those are like the four things that to me kind of mark the mid-game, I guess, if you will, in Caesar 3. So what we have in front of us is just a kind of a basic city. I just made this. I spent about 10 minutes just kind of making this up and getting it set on Tarentum. We only have one block, and we're still at small hovels here. I haven't given them an entertainment or anything. We have some farms here, and we're getting weight to send over to the block, which is over here. You can see actually a lot coming in right now. We have a kind of a basic economy just with raw goods being produced here. So we've got vegetables, clay, iron, and stone. And we've got two, excuse me, two trade routes open to accommodate this. So Asculum and Beneventum. We haven't opened up Rome or Sapontum yet, and we'll be doing that in this episode. Just for reference, we have only 1,400 denarii in our bank, so we're not rich. We are enemies distant here, so there are invasions coming. And yeah, we have, room for 117 more plebs, and we have 137 unemployed. So we have about 250 plebs to work with, just with our current housing situation. So with all that in mind, what do we want to do next? Let's go ahead and unpause. We'll let things play out so you can kind of see how it's going here. Now, I think this is maybe a part of the game where people might get stuck here. There's a lot you could be doing, and it's difficult to understand what to do first, especially with the enemies distant there. We'll talk about that in a second. In this case, I think it's helpful to look at your unemployment and say, okay, what can I do? Right now in Augustus, if your prosperity is below 10, you won't be able to build workshops. So that's just a sad fact of life there. So we could expand our production. We're getting asked for iron here, so we'll start storing that. And that would be just fine. If we go over here, we could start making bricks and pottery if we had workshops, but we don't. So instead, I think what we're going to do is we're going to expand our farming here. Because we're going to want to get a second block eventually. And also, we'll also be able to sell this wheat soon enough. And we're also going to need a barracks and a supply depot here, and that's going to take a lot of food too. So let's just clear some land here. I could do the barracks up here, actually, or the supply depot up here and just take from this, and I might do that, actually. I don't care about selling the vegetables too much. It's just kind of some extra money to have, but we'll do that later. So there's a little break here in space for the farms. The next farm we can get is right here. So 1, 2, 3, and let's do 4 so we can go down this way. 5, 6, 7, like this. Farm Tetris is an art, it's not a science. Oops. And we'll go ahead and get this out like so. We'll get a granary right here. And we'll get this like this. And we'll do an engineer and a prefecture here. And I think over here, we're going to just clear this. I don't think I can fit another farm there, so that's fine. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a runny nose. It's suddenly warm today here in Kyoto, Japan in December. It's a bit messing with my sinuses a bit. That's alright. Let's grab a cart depot. And I guess I'll just do this. You know what? I'm just going to put this sucker right here. Alright, we're going to turn off all that. We're going to add wheat here. And then we're going to take from this new guy, from 4, and we're going to take it to 2. You might ask, well, why not take it directly over here? This granary up here is kind of our main distribution granary. We want everything to be stocked up here, and then from this one, we're going to be sending out to our other blocks. I don't want to be overmaxing here. It doesn't provide us anything, really. Alright, so that's getting started. Let's set this up. 4 to 2. Lovely. And that took a lot of plebs right there. And we just got to enemies closing, so this is good. So at enemies closing, this is when I think it benefits you to start thinking about, okay, what am I going to do for my defenses? So let's talk about the military. Last time we didn't really talk about the military at all. And some maps don't even have military, so sometimes you don't even have to think about this. You can identify invasion points by openings on the map. So by openings, I mean like corners of the map or edges of the map that aren't blocked off by either mountains or trees or things like that. So in this case, we've got an opening here, and an opening down here. This was closed off. I opened this up just now, so that's not an opening. Same thing over here. This was treed off, and I just cleared the land. So it's just these 3 spots. We have a river and a lake here blocking off this. So effectively on this map, we just have one choke point to deal with. And that is it. So how do we want to do this? Well, the first thing you're going to need is a barracks and a supply post. A barracks to produce your troops, and a supply post to feed your troops. So let's get both of those things started. I'm going to go ahead and get the supply post. I know I said I would do it up there with the vegetables. I'm actually going to do it here just because we added all this extra wheat. So we're going to get the supply post here. When you do this, you want to go to your granary that you're going to be taking food from, and you want to allow supply post. So that's this guy here, the little centurion. You're going to click on him, so that way this guy can steal from this, which is what we want. And he'll send out a little walker to go get that food. Barracks are a bit of a different thing here. So barracks will produce troops, right? Let me take a sip of my water, excuse me. Barracks produce the troops that will fight and defend your territory. So having barracks closer to the lines, closer to where your forts are going to be, is helpful because they can just replenish your troops that much quicker. They'll just run straight there and they won't have a lot of travel time, and it'll be great. So I'm going to go ahead and build my barracks just right over here. On most maps, I get 2 barracks because it's twice as fast production, and if you're on heavy military map, that's really, really helpful. On these early maps, having 1 barracks is just fine. A military academy will train your troops so they have better morale. They won't break as quickly. It's pretty expensive, but and you don't need it right away, but it doesn't hurt you to get it right away either. Now, your first invasion, if you're playing vanilla kind of teaches you to be very afraid, right? Because there's so many invasion points, and your first invasion can be kind of scary, right? Like, if you're not prepping, you can be completely steamrolled and lose in your first invasion, and that's bad. In Augustus, and then in most custom maps you'll play by, like, the great map makers out there, if you're playing, you know, Fairbuy or Destination Walker or Commissar Merrick maps, Turgeon maps, whatever, they tempo the invasions up, so usually your first invasion is quite small, and it can be defended probably with just 1 fort, maybe 2, probably just 1, like 2 is actually kind of a lot. If you want to feel safe, if you're not confident, just get 2 forts, and I'll show you. We'll do that this time, just to kind of show what to do. So I'm gonna get an engineer here. I'm gonna go ahead and get a prefecture here, I'm going to go ahead and build the military academy. Again, this one you don't have to do at all. This one is just for show. And then we've got, remember, the invasion points here, here, and here. These two I'm not too worried about, but this one's a bit closer to this area, so I kind of want to defend this one first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this up a little bit. I'm going to maybe get some palisades. Hello? There we go. It's right at the top. Like right here. Excuse me. And I'm going to get 2 forts, like I said. And I'm not too worried about the money because we're making decent money now. And I'm not worried about it. Don't worry about it too much. I've got enough economy that we can pull ourselves out of debt for building forts. And we also have a quest that if we build and staff a fort, we'll get a good amount of money back. So that's fine. How to decide what you're going to get first here. If you go under forts, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. One of them doesn't really count because legionaries need weapons, and we're not producing weapons yet, so even if we build a fort, no one's going to come. So really you have 4 options. Javelins, horses, swords, and bows. Of these 4, the biggest value is from javelins. So javelins are a ranged unit. They have good DPS, they have good damage, and they're pretty quick, so you can micro them around. Now this isn't really an RTS, there's not a lot of micro to do, but you can potentially like have them start throwing their javelins, and when someone gets close, you run them back, and then they throw again, and you run them back again, and they throw again. You can do tricks like that and get a lot of value out of these guys. If you're in doubt as to what to get first, just get javelins. It's fine. The second thing I would recommend is swords. Horses, horses are good. They're very fast. And so on a lot of maps, if you have like 2 invasion points that are far away from each other, if you have horses, they can get to both of them very quickly, so they'll be able to defend. Whereas something like swords or definitely legionaries are slow as heck, will not. In this case, we're just gonna get javelins first, and I'm just gonna get the javelins right. I'll just put them right here. Sure, why not? And we'll let that staff up. And again, I'm just doing this on enemies closing. Once we get to enemies closing, that's when you're like, okay, let's start thinking about a proper defense here. So this by itself is good enough for this first invasion. We're gonna be extra safe. We'll get a swords fort in a little bit too once we get some more money. But you could defend just with this. So I'll let that do its thing. If we look at our unemployment, we're at 25. We have room for 36. So we're starting to run out of plebs, right? We don't have enough room to get more plebs, and we're going to want to expand our city. So at this point, I think it's okay to go ahead and grab our theater and school. So we'll get both of those guys, and that'll level these up. And we have room for a couple more houses here too. We'll add those if we need to, but we're not going to worry about it. So this will get us to the holy and great small casa, which is all you ever want to need here. Small casas are the king. I know there was some questions before on one of my videos about leveling up your blocks to like Insulate or Grand Insulate or whatever. And I'm going to talk about that a bit later. I mentioned it before in one of my videos, but I'll mention it here again because I think it's worth repeating. For now, we're just going to be working with small casa. And that's pretty much what you're going to be working with for most of the game. Alright. We're still at 5 prosperity, so we cannot get workshops. Our money just shot up, so that's great. Money is looking good. This is filling up here. And if we look at our economy, what month? We're in December. Perfect timing. Okay. Remember at the end of the year, if you're in December, it's a great time to check your trade to see how much you've actually traded in that year. So to Asculum, We've basically maxed out on both iron and stone. Perfect. Lovely. We're about to hit a new year, which means we're going to be able to reset this and sell again. It's great. Beneventum, we've not really done great on clay. We still have room for 9 here. And then vegetables, we could sell way more of these. There could be a ton more vegetables being sold. Our other 2 trade routes are ship trade routes. So these are docks. So we're going to think about opening one of these. Specifically, we're going to open, and I like to sort these, by the way, by route cost. That's generally what you want to do, because that's kind of the order you want to do. You don't want to open an expensive one first that only buys stuff you can't even make yet. Sapontum would be the next logical one to do, but they only buy wine and bricks, neither of which we can make right now. So if we're going to expand our economy, it's going to be probably through more vegetables or more clay. Just to show on this map, your resources are clay, iron, stone, and sand, which is great. You don't have timber. And then for your farms, you have wheat, vegetables, and vines. So you don't have oil. So no furniture, no oil. Those are the 2 things you would need. All right. Trade hub. So we have a little quest here. New secondary objective, build a caravanserai and 8 stone towers to increase land trade quotas. Okay. I think the stone towers thing is new. It's interesting. And this is actually going to be perfect timing, because this is the second thing we wanted to talk about. Or, well, technically it's the 3rd thing on my list, but it's fine. One of the things you're going to want to do when you're into the mid-game is decide what projects you want to build first. In this case, we have a quest to build a caravanserai. So the game is pushing us in a direction. If we go over here to, to religion, if you don't have a quest and you're just wanting to start your projects, build something, get oracles. You might ask, why not large temples? It's large temples, they take marble, stone, concrete. Oracles take marble and concrete, so they don't need the stone. Oracles will give bonuses to all the gods. Large temples will just give a large bonus to one god. Oracles are 2x2, they're pretty compact. Large temples are 3x3, they're pretty fat. You'll need 5 of them, which means that's kind of a large space. And oracles, you can get a few of them and you'll be set for a while. This is kind of fortuitous timing because our gods are getting a little bit miffed at us. They're slightly angry. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get a string of small temples. And I'm just doing this to appease the god. And then we're going to start some building projects here. Oracles, you don't need to, they don't do anything for your blocks. I mean, they look nice, but that's not too important. So you don't really want to get them on your blocks. They can just kind of be out doing their own thing, and that's totally cool. They do need marble, which we don't have. And we also can't get concrete yet. So we're going to wait on that. And instead, we're just going to go right here. We're going to throw out a bunch of small temples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's get our engineer and prefecture here. And that's just fine. Totally cool. So that'll cover our gods for a while. So yeah, like I was saying, if you're in doubt and you're just wanting to start building things, just get oracles. You don't need a ton, just get like 3 or 4 and you're going to notice that your gods are not going to be a problem for a good long time. And then if they are, we'll just get more oracles. Just add them on. And that's fine. Prosperity is at 9, so we just need 1 more point of prosperity and we'll be up to the point where we can get our workshops, which is going to be a great help to us. We have a little bit more money now, so let's go ahead and let's get our second fort, and we're going to get swords. Again, a lot of the times you won't need to do this, but like I said, if you just want to feel safe, you want to have like your frontliners and your javelins, just get the swords, get the javelins, and this will be more than enough to basically solve your first invasion on every single map. If you're feeling more comfortable and you're better at the game, then just the javelins is totally fine. Totally fine. Alright. Now, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Actually, no, I'm not. I lied. I'm going to get some more vegetables first. Vegetables. Let's get one here. I don't want to get this because that would block me off. So, let's do a granary here. I'm going to pause real quick. Again, this is just falling under the category of expanding our economy. If you're confused on what to do, the answer is what makes you more money? What can you do that will increase your money? And in this case, what are we not selling a lot of right now that we could be selling more of? Vegetables. So what are we going to do? We're going to build vegetable farms. It's going to be great. Let's get these. I know someone is sighing in the comment section about my farm layout here. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I'm gonna get a second roadblock here, actually, because I don't want these guys to wander off. Alright. And then I'm allowing vegetables here now, which means they're not going to be going all the way over to our place where we're selling them. So we're going to need a cart depot. And this is going to take vegetables from Granary 5 to Warehouse 1 so they can be sold. Looks good so far. So this is very, very full. This quest is nearly ready to complete. At this point, we have room for 0. At this point, I think it's a good idea to get started on our second block. A lot of times, I think new players might overexpand, and you end up with an unemployment of like 50% or something ridiculous. You have like 800 unemployed plebs, and then you never have enough jobs ready to fill them in. You generally want to expand at pace with your economy. So once you're starting to run out of space, you need more plebs, at this point, we're at 9 prosperity, right? Which means we're on the verge of unlocking workshops, which means we're on a verge of an economic boom. Because once we unlock workshops, that means we're going to we can sell pottery, we can sell bricks, we can sell wine, we can sell all these things. So we're going to need a ton of plebs to staff all the stuff that we're going to be building very, very quickly. So even though we're not there yet, we're close enough that I feel like we can definitely set up a new block here. Fill it up, and then we'll be using the people that we're getting very, very quickly. So I'm going to clear quite a bit of space here. And let's get the block here, right in this area. I think I can do like a long block right here, and it should be just fine. I'm not taking this too seriously, like we're not min-maxing anything here. It's just... whatever. It's just whatever. That's the official word. We'll get our reservoir right there. Alright, let's just drop... we don't need to fill the entire thing up. Some houses is fine. That's enough for now. Again, I'm going to do my standard thing. Engineer. Prefecture. We're going to do all our health stuff right at the beginning too. So we'll do our barber. Doctor. Go ahead and get a bath. Right here. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll get our fountains. Like so. Cool. And I might as well go ahead... Oh, Essential security provided. Okay, so this was our quest. You have mustered a local militia as requested. The local tribune presents you with 3250 denarii collected from citizen donations. Use these funds wisely to further enhance the security and prosperity of your citizens. Cool. Very nice. We're going to get a few small temples here, so let's... if you want to be lazy like me, just do that. It's not the quote-unquote right way to do it, but that's alright. You don't need to be min-maxing. It is okay not to min-max. I'm going to set this to getting wheat, because this is close enough that I can just walk over and take it. That's totally fine. Let's get a market here. Okay. Maybe pick up a Lararia here. That's fine. And we'll make it look pretty. We'll get some pawns. Just because I like pawns. They're nice. They're fun. We are invasion imminent, so that means it's going to be coming within a year. Now, because we got this military academy, our swords can go into the square formation. Just talking about formations real quick. These two here are the ones you're going to be using the most, the double formation. In this case, it's they're kind of horizontal here. If we click on this one, they'll go into this vertical formation. If you're attacking someone over here, this is correct. If you're attacking someone down here, this is correct. You want to just be able to have them all throw their javelins, not, you know, just a few of them at a time. For your swords and your legionaries, just put them in the square formation. If you don't have a military academy, just do the same thing as your javelins. Have them in a double line here. Don't worry about mop-up. Just keep it simple, keep it easy, and you'll be fine. Okay. Let's check this out. We have room for 270, and we have a whole new block built. Again, it's a very basic block. Doesn't have a lot of what they really want yet, but it doesn't matter. We're not at the point where we're blowing up our economy just yet, so it's fine. However, that being said, we are going to want to... So you see our money just going up here just off... I just want to emphasize this. This is all just off vegetables, clay, stone, and iron here. We haven't even really blown up our economy yet in terms of produced goods, but because we're producing enough of the raw materials and selling them, we're making good money. It feels good. And if you've got good money and a good economy here, the rest of this game just kind of plays itself. I'm going to go ahead and set up my dock right now, because once we are able to produce all this new stuff, we're going to want to sell it. And where are we going to sell it? We're going to sell it to our new trade partner. So let's get... I'm going to get 2 warehouses here. If you have a dock warehouse like this, just specify it for boats only, so your land traders don't wander over and try to buy stuff from here and then they take a really inefficient route. There we go. Okay, so the dock is ready to go. And we have... Where are you here? Sapontum will buy wine and bricks. I'm going to go ahead and kind of pre-get ready for this. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to set up my vines right here. It's going to be our vine area. Let's get our... Holy smoke, what am I doing? Ship bridge, there we go. Okay, subsidy expires. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. That's actually it's not a shame. Never mind. I think the boats come from here. I think this is legal. Hopefully. We'll see. Let's get our vines, and the subsidy expires means you've gone over 10 prosperity, which means it's time to duel. No, I'm just kidding. It's time to get your get your workshops on. And that's exactly what we're going to do. It's time to expand our economy as much as we can. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's get our... How do I want to... I kind of want to keep this open. Actually, do I care about this? Not really, but that's fine. Okay, this works. Get our prefecture here. Now, the efficient thing to do here would be to get all the winemakers right here. You go to workshops, wine, and so this is all really close. I could do that. I could also just put stuff right here and have the winemakers closer. I don't really care about super efficiency right now. Just having it be produced is enough. So let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and get a roadblock here. Get one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 is going to be fine. You can support 2 wine workshops per 1 vineyard here. Because they're far away. I mean, it's not that far, but it's far enough. I'm going to just put 6 here for now, and that's fine. And then over here... Oh, wait, this will cover that. That's totally fine. Okay, cool. So let's add here wine. There we go. And I'll do 12 of them. Right? So that's going to be one major thing we're producing set up. What else can we set up for big money? Bricks. Look at that. So bricks we can actually start selling right now. Bricks will sell for, if we go check our prices, 75. That's actually not a lot. Clay sells for 35. And bricks also require sand. So bricks, even though we can sell a decent amount, isn't like the biggest moneymaker, but the price might go up later. We could also do pottery, but we can actually only sell 20 pottery a year. Now pottery is worth a lot. It's 140. It's basically twice the bricks, but only 20 per year means it's not like the biggest deal for us right now. Wine, on the other hand, because we can sell it not only to Asculum, but also both of our trade partners here, our sea trade partners, and it's worth, I'll tell you, 160. Wine is actually huge. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go deep into wine here. So let's get more vines. You get you here and you here. Let's go. I think that'll be fine. A total of 7. And I'm gonna actually do what I said I was gonna do. Well, I didn't really say I was gonna do it, but I'm gonna get some wine workshops here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll get 5 of them there. Okay, so this should be producing very, very well. And what we're gonna probably want to do is, because, whoops, this is a very far walk. It's a rainy day. All of a sudden, the screen got really dark. We're gonna want to get a place where this wine can be delivered here. However, it would be really nice if I could build something there, but I can't. It is what it is. The only place I could really do this is maybe like over here-ish. So let's go ahead and grab our... Yeah, let's do it right here. I think that's fine. I'm going to roadblock this sucker right here. I'm going to allow wine here. And this is going to be only wine. This is going to be all my wine here. I'm going to get a cart depot. And then I'm going to allow wine here as well. So let's do some adjustments here. We have 8 clay allowed. We have 12 iron. Let's move this all down to 8. Stone is at 8. Let's allow wine, and let's put wine at 8 as well. And we're going to go wine from 9 to 1. And let's make sure we're selling wine. So let's hit, whoops. Oh, excuse me, that was, I was incorrect. They will not buy wine, they will sell me wine. I have made a terrible blunder. So this should go to 7. It's not a terrible blunder, don't worry about it. Employment is at -1. So you see how we've really used these plebs extremely quickly by setting up all this industry. This is why just having like a block pre-built here so you can be ready to go is very nice. Just gonna fill in some of the 1x1 spaces here. That's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And that'll let a lot of new people flood into the city. Aha! And finally, our first invasion is here. It's coming from right there, and it's like just a few people. So we'll send in our swords first, and I'm going to move my javelins right here. We're going to move them into the formation so that they're kind of parallel to the group coming in, so they can all shoot at once. And there we go. Let's return to the fort. And there's your first invasion. It's just that simple. Again, we could have just done that with javelins and moved them back a little bit. It's totally fine. So that's your first invasion. Depending on the map, you'll either be no invasions, enemies distant, enemy closing, or invasion imminent again. Some maps have multiple invasions back-to-back, so you'll be fighting one after another. In this case, we're enemies closing, so we have a bit of time. We don't have to be worried right away. And we still want to be expanding our economy. And let's go ahead and open up Sapontum as well. We're at the point where I want to get to the next part of this video, this guide here, which is starting your first construction project. And we already talked about what to build. Oracles, if you're not sure. Or whatever you have a quest for. If you have a quest like we do for a caravanserai, build the caravanserai, it's fine. A lot of people think they need to get like a caravanserai and a lighthouse on every single map. You absolutely do not need to. Your economy can skyrocket without these things, but it does provide an essential boost on certain maps, and just a comfortable boost on other maps. I'm gonna open up Rome as well, because no one else sells me marble, and I need that. So we're doubling down here. No working dock, my eye. It's right here, nerd. Alright. So that'll get going here. And then let's see where this boat comes in from. Ah, yes. Let's turn on exports here. We're not making weapons yet, but I'm just going to turn all this stuff on. Turn on bricks as well. Cool. And now let's discuss a little bit more on construction. In this case, we're getting a caravanserai first. So the first thing you want to do when you decide what you're going to build is you want to go find that thing. So in this case, caravanserai is under the little cart here. You want to hover over the little pillar icon and then see what it needs. So it needs timber, stone, and bricks. 2 of these things we can get. I have stone on this map. I can make bricks. I have sand and clay, so I can make my own bricks myself. I don't have timber, so I will need to import timber. This is important. Caravanserais also need access to food. They need a food source to provide their bonus. Which means I could build this potentially down here. I could also put it up here. Either one is fine. This might be a little bit easier because I have access to easier bricks that I could do right here. But this is also just fine. Like, I could just make up some brickworks right here, and that's totally cool as well. Either one is okay. I think this, usually if you're wanting to know what I usually do, I usually get it down here. This time, I'm going to just get it up here. Why? Because I have vegetables up here, and vegetables, I'm just using it to sell. And as our economy is growing, the sales of vegetables is becoming less and less important. Because it's just not worth a lot of money. We're going to be selling wine to a lot of people. And we already have, like I said, bricks. We have, stone, clay, iron. We're going to be having bricks too. The vegetables is becoming an increasingly small part of our economy, which means I'm comfortable using it for things like the caravanserai. It's totally cool. So I'll actually allow the caravanserai to get from here. We'll set the caravanserai right here, I think is fine. And let's set out the things we're going to need in order to get it. First of all, we're going to need road access. That's nice. And we're going to need a warehouse to collect the things that it's going to need in order to be built. So let's get that. We're going to allow work camps here. Where are you? Here we go. Work camps. We're going to need... Speaking of work camps, we're going to need a work camp. And also, in order to design it and build it, we're going to need an architect. So we're going to need an architect's guild. Okay? This is what you need for any building project. It doesn't matter if it's oracles, large temples, caravanserais, lighthouses. These are the things you must have. Next. We're going to need, what was it? Timber, bricks, and stone. I have a rock source right here, so let's just get some stone here. Why not? 1, 2, 3. Hello? Okay, 3 is enough. Let's add stone here. So we'll do stone, timber, bricks. Bricks, what do we need? We need sand and clay. And remember, once this is done, you're going to be deleting all this stuff. So this isn't permanent stuff. This is just to get your build on. Clay, let's do 1, 2 clay. 1 sand is enough. Sand produces very, very quickly. In fact, let's reposition this. Put that right there. And we'll get bricks. Let's just get 1, 2... Let's just get 4 bricks here. I think that's totally fine. Now, we have made a little bit of a mess with our engineer and prefecture, so I'm going to reposition. I'm going to get a roadblock here. Let's get another prefecture for this and another engineer for this. Again, this will all be torn down eventually, but for now it's just fine. Okay, that's 2 of the 3 things we need sorted. Cool, great. We need timber. Where do we get timber? Well, Asculum. Asculum is our timber buddy here. So what I'm going to do, and this is going to be a good example of expanding your economy. Again, we're at minus 52. We have room for 312. I don't need to add any more people because I have more coming in, but I'm going to add anyway. If it feels like people aren't coming into your city, you can check over here. It says migration people are immigrating to the city. If for some reason people aren't immigrating to your city, it will tell you why they're not. Sometimes it's because of jobs. Sometimes it's because of pay. So if Rome's pay is going up and you're not matching them, you'll have to match them. I'm going to go ahead and get a school and library here just because I don't want to have to think about this for the rest of the tutorial. So I'm going to level these up to small causes. And now let's talk about... Hang on. I knew I was gonna do this. This is blocked here. Okay, we're gonna get like this. Can I actually not fit a ship bridge at any of these locations? I'm so sad. I'm so sad that this is the case. Oops. Caesar got mad. That's fine. Stay mad, idiot. Demolish that bridge. Let's get our roadblock here. Okay, now the ships are coming in. I was like, something's wrong. Something's wrong, I can feel it. If you're curious as to what happened there, ships can only go under ship bridges, not low bridges. And you can't build a ship bridge here. I don't know if it's just because of the size. I think it might just be a too small a space. Although it doesn't look too different. I guess this is slightly wider, so it takes it. We could have gone right here. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, now we'll be living large. Okay. Anyway. Back on track. Imports. Let's talk about imports. On many maps, you will not be able to get everything that you want. In this case, we have no access to timber despite there being trees literally everywhere. What does that mean? Well, it means we gotta get stuff from other sources. I'll explain what I'm doing here. Let's allow land traders. Okay. Imports and exports. This is kind of nice. I know we're kind of going back and forth here, but this is just how the mid-game is. You need to be able to kind of go switch modes, go into one thing and then to another. When traders come into your map, they will sell to you first, and then they'll buy from you. So if I put this in the opposite, let's say I had all my clay, my stone, my iron down here, and then I set up a buying area up here, what would happen is the traders would walk up here and sell to me. They would walk all the way back down here and buy from me, and then they would walk all the way back up here and leave the map. They would be spending way too much time on my map. And it'd be really, really annoying. We don't want that. So to illustrate this, let's go ahead and go to our trade advisor. Let's import timber. Just set it to max. If you set it to max, it'll just fill up to however much you have it set to take here. In this case, it's 8. It won't go over that, so don't worry. And these guys are already on the map, so there might be a turnaround here. We'll see. Yeah. So what's happening is because these guys are already on the map, they're going to turn around and sell to us here. Don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and get a cart depot. Just going to stick this sucker right up here. And we're going to be delivering to 10. So let's do timber. 11 to 10. Still enemies closing. I think we're fine for now. Okay, so they've delivered here, and you can see there was a lot of ping-ponging. Ooh. Ooh. That's on me. I shouldn't have put this here, but I did. Do that. So what's going on here? I think what's happening is it's not matching my... This is kind of a weird situation. So what's happening is this is emptying out while these guys are on the map, and they're going to leave, and they're like, oh, it's empty, let's go back and sell. The timing just is a bit off. This is what we want to avoid. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a warehouse here. Again, this can happen. Actually, we don't even have to do this. This completed. Okay, Pog. Our caravanserai finished. I'll talk about this later. If you're experiencing ping-ponging because maybe you're doing what I did and you're taking from one and it's emptying out while the sellers are on the map and they're like, oh, I gotta go back and sell them some stuff, then just reorganize it to have things closer. That's all you need to do. Just put your other warehouse up here, or just make room in your primary warehouse to accept stuff. Generally on maps, if you can, just put your buying and selling area in one place. You don't have to do it, but if you don't do it, even though in theory it should work because we're delivering stuff all the way up here, they're ending up ping-ponging and it's annoying. It is what it is. Okay. Caravanserai finished. It's starting to get food. Let's go ahead and go to our trade policy and let's do a seller's policy. Some maps, you're going to want the quantity policy. There's some maps where you're only really selling like large quantities of raw goods. And so the more that the traders can carry, the better. In this case, it's not really the case. So we can just do the land sellers policy. We don't need any of this stuff anymore. So let's say sayonara to all this crap. Get it out of here. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Get rid of you too. Why not? And now we have a ton of unemployment. So, what do we do? Well, we didn't have to blow that up. We could have just set some oracles, but oracles need marble. Speaking of marble, let's allow some here. Not gold. Get out of here, you. Not you. And then for oracles, what we'll do, we won't do it today, but you get the idea. Because we're going to need marble, marble's going to be here. We're going to set up oracles just kind of in this general area. So we'll set up concrete, sand, that kind of stuff. But this is kind of a standard mid-game. If you look at what we've done, we've set up for our first invasion and we defended it. We added a second block. We expanded our economy to include a high-value product, in this case, which is wine, which we're selling in great quantity. Our denarii has shot up. We were at basically 0 at one point in this map, but now it's basically completely set for us for the rest of the map if we wanted it to be. And we got our first construction project done. If you are doing what I'm doing here and just setting things up kind of in stride, you're like, okay, what do I need to get more money? I can get vegetables. I can't get workshops yet. We still have vegetables to sell. Let's get vegetables. Oh, I don't have enough plebs. We've got this block pretty much at capacity. Let's set up a new block. Oh, our prosperity is almost at the point where we're going to unlock workshops. Let's add a lot more houses so we have a big pleb boom so we can set down a bunch of workshops all at once and just fill those up and start building extra products. Whoa, we're enemies closing. We're invasion in a minute. Right now, for example, we're invasion in a minute. Oh, you know what? Let's add another fort. We'll even do it right now. Let's get, not a legionary. Let's get another javelin fort. What you're going to be doing is going to depend on what the game is asking of you and demanding from you, right? In this case, this map is an earlier map. There's not too many demands. But we're invasion imminent. This invasion, we know it's the second invasion. It's going to be a little bit bigger. Let's get another fort. Why not? Our money's pretty good now, but we got a lot of extra plebs. And we want to get more money, and we're going to want to build more projects, right? We're going to want oracles. And maybe eventually even a Grand Temple. You probably won't need it, but maybe eventually you'll want it. So maybe you'll want to say, well, what can I sell? I'll go over here. Weapons. I have access to iron on this map. I could set up an iron area down here. And I'll get a ton of iron here, a ton of weapons here, and then I'll deliver it to sell wherever it's going to be sold. This is kind of the mid-game juggle. Now, there's one thing I didn't really talk about in this video, because it's intermediate, we're not getting into the endgame, and that is leveling up your houses. In my opinion, excuse me, in my opinion, there's no point in going past Small Casa until you're really ready to complete the map. Even when I'm doing late game maps like, Massilia or Londinium, or like those end of the campaign maps where they have ridiculous amounts of plebs required, I'm basically spending 85 to 90% of my campaign on Small Casa. This is the best bang for your buck. Each Small Casa holds 68 occupants. They don't require anything else. They don't need, pottery or furniture. They don't need extra entertainment. They just exist. They provide a lot of plebs. The reason I do this is because once you get up to like large houses, small insula, medium insula, they require a lot more stuff, but they don't give you a lot more people. So you're not getting back what you're putting into it. Which means the only real use for leveling these guys up is when you're ready to say, okay, I'm ready to win. All my other things are doing well. My economy's great. My military, my borders are secure. Caesar's happy. Blah, blah, blah. At that point, you can say, all right, I think I can level these guys up. I can look at my prosperity score and say, where do I need to level up my plebs? What do I need to get them? Where do I get my furniture from if I don't have furniture on this map? Let's set this up. And then patricians, right? Patricians are the last thing that you're worried about. In this case, these are the campaigns. You don't even need patricians. Our prosperity goal is only 70. We only need large insula, I think, for that. We don't even need grand insula. So keep yourself at small insula or Small Casa. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with leveling up. There's, we have more than enough employment. We could just we could provide the goods for them and level them up. It's not a mistake. It's not going to ruin your campaign. But if you can dedicate your plebs elsewhere, build up your economy, then you'll be just in a better place overall. So that's it. I hope you guys found this useful. See, we went pretty long, almost an hour this time. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Let me know if there's something else you want me to talk about or discuss in these videos. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.